Hello out there. I hear crickets.
Sometimes it takes a little for people to show up. But you're not on camera. All I see is your thumbnail.
That's all you're going to see.
Okay.
I don't have a camera.
Really?
Yeah. Besides, that's me on a good day.
I hate to see you on a bad day.
Mm-hmm. Worse than boneless chicken. Got bugs?
Yes. You gave them to me.
Yeah, I can tell. You know, they say chickens carry mites.
Really?
I might have infested you. When was the last time you checked your hair? I think I see something crawling across your eyes. Oh no, that's a reflection of your computer screen. What? You got a problem with me? You see that name, Crazy Chicken? That's because I'm just absolutely crazy. I'm always running around. Now, is that not true?
It is true.
Yes. I'm not scrawny like a chicken. Well, it's been 3:08 and no one is on. I'm going to go throw myself in a pot and boil myself. Make a soup.
Don't do that.
How about a pressure cooker? Watch me pop.
Oh, no.
You don't want to hear a good?
No.
How about if I pluck myself and play out, she loves me. She loves me. She loves me not.
I think it would be hard to do.
I stick myself in needles. I pull hairs all the time. What's the difference of pulling a feather?
But when you think of plucking a chicken, pluck all the hair off.
Yeah.
I think that would be.
You ever seen those cartoons with a naked chicken running around going, come on?
Yeah, but I think the farmer plucked him.
Okay. You can go ahead and start if you want. This records, right?
Yes, it records.
Well, people can see the interview later.
Well, I was giving them.
All right.
Let people come in.
You don't hear my breathing, do you?
Nope.
All right. The mic can be sensitive.
But it's recording everything you say.
Yes, it records everything I say. You will be a chicken. You will be a chicken. You will have the cravings to pluck the ground for worms. You will dig for worms. You are a chicken. Look into my eyes very carefully, and you will see that you are a chicken. Anybody watching this video, look deep into my eyes. Close your eyes and you will sense the feeling of feathers growing all over your body and have a strong craving for worms. Yeah, I'm crazy. So says my therapist.
Your eyes look like eggs.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
One's fallen over and the other's upside down.
That's because you're crazy.
Yep.
Hey, B. Earl. How are you? I'm trying to get B. Earl to come and do an interview, but she's thinking about it. And that's okay.
Don't think about it. Just do it. Look into my eyes, and you will get the sensation that you are a chicken and have the craving to dig for worms. Look into my eyes very carefully, and you will want to do an interview with her. You must, or you will crave worms for the rest of your life. Wow. That's scary.
Yes. You can't frighten people.
I'm not. I'm just telling them they're going to turn into a chicken and crave worms.
We'll give it just a little more. Make sure. Okay. I was going to give it just a little more. See if anybody else is going to step in here.
I can't see anything they type, do they? I don't see anything. No private chat, live comments. I guess I was supposed to sign in. That's all right. You can tell me the questions if I have any.
Okay, I can do that.
I mean, it's just about me. I mean, what the heck? Who wants to know about crazy me?
The audience does.
Well, they may never want another interview after this.
Well, I guess we could get started. And first of all, Crazy Chicken, what is your name?
David.
And this Crazy Chicken is your channel. What is your channel about?
It's a gaming channel.
Have you been on long?
Nope.
So
Actually, I am a noob. I am before a noob. I'm a newbie.
So anybody who likes gaming can go to Crazy Chicken's channel.
It's a work in progress. I have a lot to learn.
That's okay. So, what is your disability or disabilities?
Ooh, do we have enough time for that? Oh, let's see. I've been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder because of my service in the military. My biggest thing is diabetes, and complications that are associated with it. I have hypertension, which is under control. High blood pressure, man, the same. It's under control. My labs are perfect, with the exception of my weight, which is slow coming off.
How long have you had this disabilities? How long have you had these disabilities?
My PTSD has been about 20 years. My diabetes has been about maybe 10, 11-ish. I don't really keep track anymore. It's been a while. enough to know that it's done damage to my body.
How did you discover you had these disabilities?
Blood test, but not for PTSD. I had to pretty much have a mental breakdown and get help through the VA for that.
Or were there warning signs that caused you to go to the doctor to get these blood tests or to go to see their psychologist?
Well, the blood test was a routine thing, and they noticed that my sugar was elevated, so they ran an A1C and saw that it was very high, over 11. And that's when they diagnosed me with diabetes. But the PTSD, that was a few years ago, and took some therapy and a lot of work, but they helped me through it. I still have to take some medication. I take medication for that has a twofold. Helps me with my diabetes, my neuropathy, and some of my psychological issues. And I take medicine for dreams to keep me from having reoccurring nightmares. I bet you didn't know I took that, did you?
I think you mentioned it, but I don't think it made contact in my brain.
Well, that's because you're from Alabama. I forgive you for that.
You know,
People from
Earl might
Alabama
be
have
from
small
Alabama
brains.
too.
Say what?
Earl might be from Alabama. You don't know.
Oh, she might. But see, she's already looked into my eyes, so I've got her. I've got her pinned, and anybody that comes in will glance at my eyes and just be mesmerized.
You said you had a nervous breakdown. What happened?
Uh, just feeling sense of worthlessness. You can't do anything right. Looking to go down a rabbit hole. Um, I wasn't suicidal, but I was afraid I was getting there. And that was one of the biggest things because I have a family, children, and I just scared the bejeebers out of me. So I sought out the help. Unfortunately, they were revamping the VA and really started to concentrate on post traumatic stress disorder. And I wound up, being treated for it, and I have a service connected disability for it.
Did your family notice anything different about you?
Oh, yeah. In the past, they've said that I was an ass, pardon my language. And I think that came from you. Uh, when I was younger in the military, when these problems were starting, they didn't know I had it. I was so messed up on drugs, I was just a walking nightmare.
But they weren't drugs, they were medications.
Medications, yeah. Most of them were mood altering, uh, psychotropic. And then they thought I had heart issues, so they pumped me full of different types of heart medicine. And I just really messed my body up and my mind.
How did you how did you handle being told that you had the disabilities that you've described?
Well, it was hard with PTSD. Uh, there's a label that come with it. People think that you can be unstable. So that kind of bothers me when people find out about it, but I'm not. I take my medicine religiously. You make sure I always take my medicine.
Oh, yes.
But as far as diabetes is concerned, I'm sorry, what was the question about diabetes?
How did you handle being told that you had
Oh,
it?
I was upset with diabetes because it's runs in my mother's side of the family. Everybody on my mama's side is diabetic. And
So it's a genetic thing for you.
yeah, it was just inevitable. Uh, by the time I guess I was 35, I started gaining weight. And not long after that, near my 40s, is when I was diagnosed with being pre diabetic. Well, I guess in my late 30s, pre diabetic, and then full diabetic when I was in my 40s. So it was hard to handle, upsetting because I didn't want to have to stick myself with needles and poke my fingers 4 and 5 times a day. And those who are diabetics understand that.
Okay. Have a good day, B. Earl. Thanks for stopping in.
Thank you.
She said that she will do the replay tonight. She has to run.
Well, that's all right. At least she was there. Well, I really appreciate it. And anyone else who comes in, that's great. If they couldn't make it, that's okay. But please, when you're watching this video, we're not upset that people couldn't come in. I just hope that you watch it and listen carefully because these are my true feelings.
Well, I know, excuse me, as your wife, before you were diagnosed with the PTSD, I would see you go from being okay to being mad, and I didn't know why. You would go from being okay to being down in the dumps. We would say, oh, let's go to Walmart, or say, and you would say, okay, in a little bit, and you would be okay with it. And a little bit would come and go, and you would keep saying, in a little bit. But then we'd not end up going. And I didn't know why. Hi, Elias.
Howdy, howdy.
Welcome. This is my husband.
Look deep into my eyes. You will be mesmerized.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, crazy chicken. This is my husband, David Elias. Okay, so the next question that I had for you is, how does the PTSD affect you now that you're on medication? How does the diabetes affect you?
Well, the PTSD, I deal with it every day because there's anxiety associated with it. And that's some of the biggest, well, that's one of the hardest things to deal with. I can't go in an MRI machine. It's hard for me to go in the CT machine. I can't go in, in the church and sit down with my family unless I'm on the outer side near a door. I can't go to the movie theater and sit in the middle of everybody. I have to be no one around me except maybe my wife, but I got to be like where I can get out. So it's upsetting that I have to limit myself because of my anxiety problems.
So it's hard for you to find a place to sit when you go to the theater, to church, any big functions.
Yep.
And that's frustrating.
Yeah.
Elias said that not in a chicken's eye, he won't stare you in the eye.
But it's irresistible. Look at me.
Okay, what about your diabetes?
What about it?
How does it affect you?
It sucks.
What has it done to you?
Well, excuse me. You can have highs and lows, both of which can mess your body up and mess your brain cells. If you get too low, it damages your brain. If it goes too high, it damages your brain. You can wind up, if it's too high, go into a coma, and vice versa with a low. I never know from time to time if the medicine I took is going to cause a low. So that's always one of the fears. The other fear is retinopathy. Thank goodness I get a teleretinal check every year and I have no busted blood vessels in my eye. But, you disappeared.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get the message off the screen.
It's all right. And then there's also the neuropathy in my feet, which has started going up my legs. Sometimes it feels like burning sensation, pins and needles. Other times it just hurts anywhere on my foot. Just a sudden sharp pain. Like if I'm driving, it'll just cause a sharp pain and I can't put pressure on my foot. It becomes annoying.
Yes, Elias, this is my husband I'm interviewing.
The other thing is it destroys the vascular system of your body. Can render men impotent. It can, mess up the heart. I know I have a degree in cardiovascular technology, and let me tell you, diabetics were the bread and butter of a lot of these heart cath labs because people just don't take care of themselves and they're prime candidates for plaque buildup in their hearts, and which will have to go in and get a stent put in, angioplasty.
Okay. So I'm sure that this is frightening for you.
Yes.
More and more things can happen. What problems have you seen in your own body so far?
Well, the neuropathy in my feet, the pain going up my leg. My fingertips get cold, and the rest of my hand stay warm. I get a lot of headaches. I don't know if it's from the change in sugar. It affects your vision. Right now, my vision is pretty good because my A1C has come down immensely. It was in the 11s. It got down to 10. I got it down to 9. In the 9s, and then I had knee surgery, and I got it down to 8.4, and then a month later, when I had surgery, it was down to, I believe, 7.4. And I'm sure now it's in the 6s, and that's really where they want me, that and less.
That's wonderful.
But it's been a hard journey.
So, what can you do or have you done to make your PTSD and your diabetes better?
Well, the PTSD, I have to see a therapist. Not every day or frequent, but periodically just to make sure I'm doing okay and just try to avoid the situations that can, set it off. Then and make sure I take my medicine. That helps really keep me stable. But it doesn't mean that, I can't have a relapse. I'm not going to go crazy and, shoot somebody or something. I mean, I'm not that dumb. But despite what the name says, but the diabetes, I'm sorry, what's the question on diabetes? And that's something else. I have memory issues, and I can be talking and answering a question, and then a moment later I have to ask, what were you asking me? So I don't know if that's from the diabetes or
It's just because you're a crazy chicken.
yeah, or the fact that in the family we have some retardation going. I'm not saying I'm a retard, but I'm sure probably somewhere in there, I have issues that come to light, or it's just I don't know. There's Alzheimer's in the family, especially on my father's side, but I've talked to the doctor about wanting to get a memory test, and so far we haven't been able to get it done, and right now we're not because of what's going on. But yeah.
So, what kind of medicines and or supplements are you taking to help with these disabilities?
Well, there's a cocktail of vitamins B1, B6, B12. They really help with the neuropathy. Chromium picolinate or I don't whatever. Yeah, thank you. That helps. Cinnamon, I take that twice a day.
What does the cinnamon do?
It helps lower my sugar.
It also helps with your weight loss.
No, yeah.
You didn't know that.
No, I'm on Trulicity. See, I used to be on many different types of fast-acting insulin with long-acting insulin, Lantus. And it's been a roller coaster ride, up, down, up, down. Then they finally got me to an insulin to carb ratio where I had to try to estimate the carbohydrates in my meals. And then there's a chart I use to say, okay, my sugar is this. This is my goal where I want the sugar to be. And this is what I think my meal is going to increase my sugar to. So it tells me this is how much insulin I give myself. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. My body will all of a sudden one day just decide, hey, you know what? I'm not going to work. No, no, I don't care what you do to it. And that's when my sugar just goes out of control. So they took me off the fast acting and then put me on Trulicity. And that took about 3 months of just literal hell with my blood sugar being in the threes, the fours, the 500s. And when I'm getting that high, I get drowsy and I want to sleep. And that's dangerous. But then things were starting to click, the sugars were starting to come down. The combination of the vitamins plus the Trulicity was starting to do its job. And then they added Jardiance pill, and that's mainly to help me pee out some of the excess sugar in my body. Uh, Kind of sucks. It makes you want to go to the bathroom more, but hey, anything to get rid of some of that excess sugar. You know, diabetes causes you to want to go pee a lot more frequently anyway. But now I'm on the Jardiance. I'm on the Trulicity once a week, and the long-acting Lantus. And there's been some nights I don't have to take the Lantus, sometimes for days, because my morning and evening sugars are right on where they're supposed to be. And then I'll start having notice it'll be a little like this morning. It was 130, and I'm normally in the 90s, so I took my insulin this morning, and I won't check my sugar again until tonight, so it should be good.
Didn't your doctor just recently pare back on the amount of times that you have to check your sugar daily?
Yeah, I went from checking my sugar like 5, 6 times a day back to when Trulicity was working good, back to 2 times a day, morning and night. And now, because my numbers are so good and my weekly averages are great, I only have to stick myself 1 time a day, 1 day in the morning and 1 day at night. And that's such a relief because my poor fingertips hurt so bad because it's just thousands of needle sticks over the course of the years. And when you had the fast acting insulin, there's always 4 times plus the Lantus during the day. So that's 4 to 5 needles, injections. Now I only have to give myself barely one a day. And that's such a relief. Thank you for the prayer.
So, you're working with a doctor, I take it.
Yes. Endocrinologist.
What are the side effects that you get from these meds?
Well, the Trulicity can cause the Hershey squirts, putting it delicately. And I had a lot of that for a while. Plus the metformin, if you don't take it with water and food, it'll run through you like a goose. And the frequent urination. Oh, and also the Trulicity causes a nausea feeling. And they say, well, that helps you curb your appetite, but there's nothing worse than feeling nauseated and being hungry at the same time.
Yeah, I bet. So, what do you do to make these disabilities easier on yourself?
Well, I've been trying to exercise. I used to weigh 245. I got down to 214 and went up a few pounds. And that's to be expected. Um, so it's going in the right direction. It's slow because insulin promotes weight gain because it traps it in the layer of your fat. So getting weight loss and then having neuropathy in your feet, I can't do physical like aerobic activity outside the water because my feet can't stand it. And I can't stand for long periods of time because my feet and my legs, can't stand it because of the pain. And if I don't have pain, because maybe my feet became numb after doing things throughout the day, as soon as I stop and I take my shoes off, boy, does the pain start to kick in and it's miserable.
So the shoes you have are helping with the pain?
They do. That, and I'm also on Lyrica for the nerve pain, and the Cymbalta has a twofold. I lost. Do you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay. My screen went blank. Um, the Cymbalta is twofold. It also helps with chronic nerve pain and my psychological problems.
How does it make you feel being on all this medication?
It sucks because I don't like taking pills. And if I'm not reminded, I won't do it.
What would you tell another person with this disability?
Work at it. Don't give up. It's taking me. Now, not everybody's the same. Some people get on a regimen and it will work perfectly for them. Other people have their bodies just either become intolerant to the insulin or your body just rejects it. And they constantly got to try to find the right path to go, whether it be medicine through and exercise or combination of both.
You mentioned that you exercise. When you exercise, do you go by yourself?
No, I'll go with you.
Okay.
Somebody has to keep an eye on you with all those other men in the pool. I gotta keep my eye on you.
So, does it help for you to go with me to pull to work out?
It does.
Why?
Because I get embarrassed about being around other people if I'm by myself. You didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't.
That's why I don't exercise in front of people here.
I know that you never would exercise in the house. Before all this came about, I tried to get you to exercise when I was still able, outside of the pool, and you were like, no, no, I can't. So that I did know. Elias, do you have any questions for the crazy chicken? I think Elias.
Oh, that's all good. The best thing is to never give up on this.
That's right.
Being a diabetic is a total life change. You got to change your way you eat, the way you think, the way you exercise, taking your medication, seeing your family, if your family doctor takes care of it or whether you have to see an endocrinologist, do what you got to do. Listen to them because they know what's going on. It's a journey and it's a total life change. And if you don't, when I was finally diagnosed, the damage with my sugar going up and down and being so high, has messed my feet up and my vascular system. So I don't know what damage my arteries, are in right now. I know things are running good right now, but something else. Because of being a diabetic, it advanced my cataracts. So I had to have double cataract surgery to, back to, well, not right back to back. One was like 1 week after the other. But now I don't have any up close unless I wear reading glasses. My distance is beautiful, but my up close.
Coming from a guy who used to have 20/10 vision.
Yeah, I can hold a book near my face and read it and go far away and read it. And now you put it in front of my face. Now, if I take it outside to the bright light, I can read it. But the inside light is just not enough for me to be able to focus in on the letters.
Very good, Elias. Can you hear me now? Elias, are you able to hear me now? Elias says, Brother, I pray for a miracle healing right now for you. I was disabled for 5 years and on 15 different medications daily. Now I am free from all medications. I fired doctors that told me I would be on these medications for the rest of my life. And no more, brother.
Well, I'm slowly being weaned off of things. I'm able to titrate back on my insulin, and hopefully, when I get maybe another 40, 50 more pounds off of me, I won't need blood pressure medication. I won't need pills for diabetes. I'll still need Lyrica and Cymbalta because of the nerve pain, but getting a lot of extra weight off your body. Whoa, and that is my father calling.
You can go ahead and talk. I'm going to mute me.
Yeah, but hey, you gonna answer that thing?
Yep.
Hmm. I lost track. See, that's another problem I have. But yeah, it's just keep trying,
Your daughter.
never give up. Like my wife's website says, or YouTube channel is, anything is possible. And I truly believe that because through my hard work and the doctors that were there helping me, they never forced things down my throat. They always wanted to try something, uh,
Something?
something new, something that they know would work. They were able to get the approval for these meds, and they work wonderfully now.
Okay.
It just took time.
Thanks for letting me know. Okay, thank you.
She's on the phone during the interview. You believe that?
Okay, you too. Okay, bye-bye.
Oof, morphine. Yuck.
Okay, that was Dad. He said that we are under a tornado watch until 10 o'clock tonight.
Oh, cool. Tornado watch.
For our county.
Huh.
Like we need that in the middle of everything else, right?
Yeah.
But God knows best. Elias, do you have any questions for David the Crazy Chicken? Elias, can you hear me? Maybe Elias is typing.
The big thing, don't be afraid to take the step if you're starting to feel lightheaded, start passing out, start getting dizzy, uh, cravings, frequent urination. Those are all signs of a possibility of being diabetic. Get it under control before it gets out of control. Because my aunt, God rest her soul, died of kidney failure associated with diabetes. And it was no fun because there was more dialysis, anything else we can do. We just had to put her in hospice care and just give her morphine and watch her pass. And that's so shameful. It was one of those things. So please don't let it get bad. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Elias, do you have any questions for David? Okay, well, I just want to remind everyone who has a disability or who's supporting someone who has a disability. Anything is possible. Just like Elias was saying, prayer is wonderful. God can take away and give anything He wants us to have. And please, never give up and continue to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. And take care of yourself to the best of your abilities, and don't compare yourself to someone else.
And one of the biggest steps is admitting that you have a problem,
Yes.
because a lot of people don't. They're afraid you're going to be labeled as something.
We have a sister like that.
Yep. So take that first step. Get yourself checked out. Keep your eyesight. Keep your health. Keep your heart. Because trust me, from what I've seen in a heart cath lab, diabetics, that's the bread and butter. They roll in like freaking chiclets. Every almost every single one the same. They need either cabbage, a coronary artery bypass graft, or they need angioplasty with a stent. Sometimes multiple stents. And then we've had some people who just they'll get it done, and 3 months later they're back in getting what they call in-stent stenosis, where the stent they put in is getting all blocked up, just like the area that they've opened up with the angioplasty. But they don't care. They just keep eating what they want and doing what they want, and it keeps messing up their the coronary arteries, and eventually they're going to kick the bucket. But thank you everybody for taking the time to listen to someone like me. I don't think very highly of myself a lot of times, and it is hard to uh, to talk about my problems. A lot of things I keep to myself so I don't worry my family. And it's just something I've learned to do over the course of my years. But thank you very much for listening in, joining in, and even after this video is done, and those who tune in, if you know anybody who's a diabetic, please let them know. They don't necessarily have to, commit to subscribing to the channel, though that would be nice. But at least, view the video. It's not about us, trying to get numbers. It's about if this can help one person, even that little video we made on, which was kind of cheesy about the tornado, but if one person donated something or somebody said something to someone else and they donated a box of baby wipes, then the video did its job. And I don't know whose heart it touched. Hopefully it did. But we're just trying to do something. And we figured, what the heck? We went out there, we saw the damage, we spoke to some people, and it just broke our hearts. So we had to do something. And hopefully this video, as well as the other videos that my wife does, will find someone and touch their heart and realize that, hey, there are other people out there with similar problems, and it can be dealt with. It's not easy. It's a daily battle, but it can be dealt with. But thank you again very, very much for listening and tuning in.
I'm going to give you other channel that we do together.
I like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Elias. And if anybody who sees this video ever needs encouragement, please go to my Facebook, go to my IG, or put a message on either this YouTube channel or Walter the Dumpster Diver, and I will talk with you. I will do my best to encourage you. Okay, we're going to end the broadcast. Thank you everyone for visiting, and please, if you haven't already, subscribe and hit the bell so you get all of our notifications when we go live and when we make videos. Also, like the channel if you liked what you saw, and if you didn't, hit the thumbs down. Okay, love you guys. Bye.